The first set of murders released me from a great burden. This one had almost no effect.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Crime Journal. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into the case.
Everything had just ceased. All the anger and the fear from the years prior to that was all washed away in that instant.
Robin Doan, 10, lived with her mother Michelle, who was 6 months pregnant, her stepfather Brian Conrad, who was a farmer, and her older brother Zach. September 30th, 2005, Robin would make a chilling 911 call, telling the operator on the other end, "There was a shootout in my house, and I don't know who is dead, but I am scared half to death." Police would arrive on scene to discover Brian and Zach had been shot 3 times. Michelle was shot 6 times. That would lead them to the question of why was 10-year-old Robin Doan the only survivor. Detectives would collect evidence from the crime scene. After a thorough investigation, it appeared that the killer entered the home by kicking in the door on the east side of the home. The killer fired his gun at Robin while she laid in her bed after murdering her family. The shot would miss her and strike a plastic clothes drawer next to her bed. Robin played dead for 2 hours before getting out of her bed and making the chilling 911 call. Police investigators would find bullet casings all throughout the house, later linking it to an AK-47 rifle. Several shoe prints and tire marks to an unknown vehicle were found on the property, but no fingerprints and no DNA.
I pushed open the door on the right. It wasn't secured or closed all the way, and noticed a small silhouette moving across just in front of the window. I lowered the gun and fired.
A day before Robin Doan's family was murdered, the bodies of murder victims Orly McCool and his daughter-in-law Doan were found more than 500 miles away in Pineville, Missouri. Investigators found shell casings at the McCool residence that were traced back to a gun that was reported stolen by a local man. The man informed police that his son, Levi King, broke into his home and stole several of his guns. King was previously arrested for burglary and arson. He was sentenced to 14 years but only served 3 before getting sent to a halfway house. He escaped and was on the run 1 week before the McCool murders. Investigators learned that after the killing, the McCools with a 9mm Smith & Wesson handgun, Levi drove from his home in Missouri, exiting the ramp heading to Pampa, Texas, and he felt the urge to kill again. Unfortunately, that's when he chose the house where Robin and her family resided. About 11 hours after the McCool's bodies were found, King's truck was stopped by Border Patrol in El Paso, Texas. He admitted to having guns in his car. King would be taken into custody and interrogated by police. After about 15 minutes, King confessed to killing Orly and Dawn McCool. 2 weeks after being brought back and imprisoned in Missouri, Levi King told officers that there were 4 more bodies by the Big Cross. That's when they connected him to the Doan and Conrad murders. On April 18, 2008, King would plead guilty and agree to 2 life sentences for the McCool murders in order to avoid the death penalty. 4 years after that tragic night, the trial would begin for Levi King for the Doan and Conrad murders. There, the DA refused to take the death penalty off the table. Former prosecutor Lynn Switzer said, "If there was ever a case where a man deserved to die, it would be Levi King." On October 6, 2009, the jury found King guilty and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murders of the Doan and Conrad family. Robin Doan, who is now 22, remains in close contact with what she calls now her law enforcement family, especially Chad Brooks, the very first responder on the scene the day her family was murdered. Holidays and birthdays are very difficult for Robin, but she tries not to let what happened bring her down. She looks forward to her bright future where she can help others as she is in the process of becoming a pediatric nurse.
And I saw a big flash and heard a really loud noise, and I just froze. Just right there in my bed, just froze.